as we get it up to gear, you'll notice that, gosh, this thing just has, oh, this thing has plenty of power. And even with it being such a big and heavy car, you'll notice that it just gets up to speed very, very quickly. And because you have these nice brakes and big calipers, you are going to stop very quickly as well. Now the steering wheel feels really good in your hands, and you have your heads-up display in front of you. Now if you're going over the speed limit, it's actually going to tell you and light up orange. So if you're on a road that you know there's a lot of police on, that comes in handy. The display in front of you is very nice, and then you have the display over here as well. Now that we're driving the car on the road, you'll notice you have the heads-up display in front of you. You really can't hear anything around you. I mean, this car is very well insulated, and it has the sunshades, of course. It's just very comfortable. You don't feel like you're driving a big car on the road. Now you have this big, powerful twin-turbo V8 with 523 horsepower. So this car gets up and moves. I mean, you have the Sport, Comfort, Eco, Pro. If I put it into sport mode, we will jump onto this main street right here and just kind of see how much power it has. Now if we accelerate, wow, yeah, this thing has a ton of power. And in the heads-up display in front of you, you're going to have the actual indicator that lights up orange and lets you know if you're speeding. The steering wheel feels nice in your hands. It is very quiet, and it's just very comfortable with the Napa leather surrounding you. One thing I wanted to show you as well with this long sweeping hood before I pop it and show you the engine, if you pop the hood release twice, you reach under here, you don't have to hit a hood release. It just comes up on its own. So very, very convenient. And as you can see under here, you have the twin power turbo BMW V8 engine. This is a massive 4-liter. Everything's pretty well covered up, but you get the idea of how powerful and intense this engine is. I mean, this is putting out 523 horsepower. I think it's amazing that you have a car like this. Yes, the price is very high up there, but the amount of luxury you get, the amount of power you get, over 500 horsepower without having to buy a supercar. Now granted, you could buy a supercar for this price. I think this one comes in at around 120 grand, but you would not get nearly the features and luxury that you would get in the new 750i. Also, if you need to get a BMW by any means, anywhere in the country, especially in Atlanta, Georgia, see my man Gavin Phillips over at United BMW, who hooked me up with this vehicle for this review. Up front, you're going to have the BMW laser headlights. You're going to notice with the blue accent right there, and then you have the parking sensors throughout the whole car. You have this nice dark chrome finish right here with these active vents. Now this big beefy grille right here actually opens and closes so the car can actually breathe for ventilation and better gas mileage and aerodynamics. Again, this is Donington Gray. It's a beautiful gray. It's kind of a mix between a charcoal gray, a silver, and there's a little bit of gold flake in there as well. And this has the black Napa leather as well. And then here you have these nice dark 20-inch wheels. These are wrapped in Pirellis straight from the factory, and then because this has the M package, you're going to have the M series wheels with the black finish, and if you can see deep in there, you have those nice big M series brake calipers as well. And look how big the actual rotors are. Those are huge because the car is just, it's a really big and heavy car. It's a 523 horsepower turbo V8, a 4.4 liter. It gets up and goes very, very quickly, and you need a lot of stopping power for that. And right here, you're gonna have your, again, your darker finished chrome along the whole side of the car, which runs to the back. But this is also an active vent as well, which helps air pass along the side of the vehicle. On the mirrors, you have the turn signals, but then you also have the camera there. You have a series of cameras throughout the whole vehicle because you have a front camera, side camera, and even when you're backing up, the car will actually show you almost like a side profile view from like right here of what it would look like. So you're not going to hit anything in your back corner, which I think is very innovative and interesting that BMW decided to do that. Along the back, you're going to have your, it looks like a dual exhaust, but you actually have a quad tip in there, and it sounds nice and deep, and it has a nice drone to it. It's almost equivalent to the AMG models, and what's funny is this is like a 7 Series. This is the biggest, fastest sedan they make as far as the luxury car goes for BMW, but it also sounds like a, you know, not quite like an exotic car, but it has the sound of a sports car, which is very, very nice. And then you can see these 275, 35, 20-inch wheels right here in the better light. Up top here, you're gonna have your panoramic roof. What's nice is you have the sunshade that will open up from there and there. And then actually in the back, which I'll show you better from the inside, you can see your Bowers and Wilkins speakers right there, which are an upgrade. That whole sunshade goes up across there to give you some privacy. And then along the back windows, you're going to have a sunshade that closes there and there for ultimate privacy in the back or the front. It's just as comfortable in the back and as great of an experience in the back as it is in the front. And I'll show you guys close to here. So this has the cold weather package, which is remote engine start, front and rear heated seats, heated front seats with armrest. Then you have the driver assistance pro package, which is $1,700. That's the extended traffic jam assistant and active driving assistant pro. And then this adds the M Sport package for $3,000, which is the M Sport exhaust system, which is why it sounds so nice. So your standard 740 or 750 probably won't sound that nice. And then you have the Shadow Line exterior trim, which is that darker chrome trim I was showing you guys throughout the whole exterior. And then for a nice $3,900, you have the executive package, which adds the panoramic Sky Lounge LED roof, the rear sunshades, rear ventilated seats, front massaging seats, and ceramic controls. Then of course you have the M Sport brakes and run flat tires as well. The M wheels for $1,300, ambient air package for $350, and then you have the Icon adaptive LED with laser light system for $1,000. The Bowers and Wilkins sound system is an addition, and then of course you get the satellite radio. And you have a lot of trunk space, so that goes up automatically. If you hit the button right here, it will go down automatically. You have the BMW roadside assistance, as it says right there. And I've got a camera bag and the floor mats obviously back there, just for size reference. Now you have a lot of space back here. And as you can see, you have the cutout back there for things to pass through. These are all covered and insulated to keep a quieter ride, and I like that the safety kit is out of the way down in that little cubby, because if you're putting a lot of stuff back here and you are using the trunk, when the safety kit's sitting there, it just kind of takes up space. So it's a little thing, but that's nice that they thought about that. So let's close this up automatically, of course. All right, now that we've covered the whole outside of the brand new 2020 BMW 750i, let's open the nice heavy handle here and take a look inside. You'll notice you'll have this beautiful black with gray finished wood grain right there. This has the black Napa leather with the gray contrast stitching, and over here on the seat it has the quilted pattern as well. So it's very, very soft. You can't really just describe or explain how soft and comfortable it is through a video, but you can take my word for it, use your imagination. You have the piping here as well, and then you have the leg extender right here, so that just comes out right there along with your other power seat features right there. That's all pretty much standard, but this is cool and it is very comfortable. Over here you're going to notice you have the power steering wheel, so that moves 4 different ways of course, and then you have all of your steering wheel controls right there. Now this screen is nice, it's digital, it shows you everything you need right there. And then again, back over to the door, a lot of self-explanatory stuff right here, but this is for the sunshade and the curtains for privacy. You have the Bowers and Wilkins speakers right there. You can see that nice chrome speaker. Those are throughout, and you have a ton of speakers throughout the whole vehicle. And then you're gonna have your different seat settings. So you have memory seats, different driver profiles. Once you're in the new 7 Series, it's very easy to look at everything and go, wow, that's a lot of equipment or features, but it's really not, and everything's laid out very easy to use. This is probably one of the most intuitive luxury high-end vehicle touchscreens I have seen. If you hit the home button here, you can go through all of your vehicle settings, audio settings, navigation. You can kind of customize how you want that on there, which I'll show you. And then directly in front of you, you have this nice LED screen. It lights up to welcome you, and it shows you everything you would want to see on that screen or on there, just like a lot of other luxury models. Now you have the nice wood grain throughout, and you're going to have the different drive modes right here. So you have Sport, Comfort, and Eco Pro. Not only do you notice a difference in the drive, but you can audibly inside the car notice the exhaust change notes as well, so it goes a little bit more aggressive or quieter depending on the ride. Now of course you have the shifter here, which you feel like you're in the cockpit of a fighter jet right here, but you hit unlock and then hit park or reverse neutral. But very sporty, very fun to use. And then you have your wood grain throughout right here. Now you can use the dial right here. I do prefer to use the touchscreen because it is so intuitive and easy to use, but you can do all of the same things you can do on that screen with this dial right here. You can hit your media, map, your communications, which is your phone, or hit through your options menu right here. And then if you pop this open, you have this nice center console with a USB port here and up here with your charging pad. This is a wireless charging pad. And then what's awesome is you can keep your arm rested here and open that up. If your passenger has their makeup or their phone, whatever they want in there, they can access that and you can still drive comfortably. All right, we are sitting in the back of the new 7 Series, the 750i, in case you missed it in the beginning of the video. But you'll notice I have all of the screens closed right now. It's nice and dark and enclosed in here. Up top, you're gonna have your mirrors that drop down with your lights right there. And you have this nice LED bar right here. So at night, that has a nice glow. It lights up whatever you're doing. If you're working, if you're doing your makeup in that mirror, if you're reading a book, or somebody's driving you around, you can actually see what you're doing. The wood grain continues throughout. You have this nice handle that flows through the door, so you can open the door like that. And you can grab it right here. There's a nice big grab bar right here because the door's a little heavy. It's not too heavy, but it's heavier than most. But it is very, very quiet when you're in the car. Close that up and you'll notice you have your window button right here. All these other 4 buttons are actually interesting. You have your heated seats down there with your climate control, but you have your sunshades right here, and the side one and this one go up and down. But then you also have the one behind you, which opens and closes as well, along with the panoramic roof in the rear as well. So that is tinted as well. It's privacy glass. So you have a good bit of quiet room back here, and it's also private if you need it to be private with all the sunshades. The back seats are very comfortable. I mean, the Napa leather is quality. You have the stitching throughout, and I'll show you, you actually have these zippers that go up and down for the child seat anchors. So instead of having cheap plastic to just slap on there and pop open, and that typically breaks, you can just zip down this quality little tab right here and clip in a child seat if you need it. So I'm 5'9". Speaking of car seats, speaking of room and space and comfort, you could have a 6-foot tall person up here in the front driving, and he's spread out comfortable, and I can also spread out and be comfortable as well. So just to give you the illusion of how big this car is on video, you know, you have tons of space for driver, passenger, and passengers in the rear.